Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's astrologer Eric Rosen here today for your daily horoscope, your daily woke horoscope. Uh, it's one of those things. It's kind of like if you're doing the work, you'll get it. If you're not, it's probably not for you. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. But this is for Monday, October 19th, 2020. So let's get some good vibes going. And you can have some good vibes whenever the sun is in Libra, right? But it's only if the peace and harmony is there. It's kind of looking at what decisions are being made in the partnerships. How's the communication going? Yeah, there there might be some harsh conversations that need to be had. As it's coming off this challenge point to Saturn. Where it's kind of like putting up a lot of physical boundaries. Like, we need to talk about this, and this. This has to get done. And so I think once those conversations are had, though, it's a real opportunity for growth and for things to move forward. There's an element of like not wanting to avoid those conversations and partnerships as Venus is starting to come out of that opposing Neptune, but it can be, well, I'm going to kind of avoid having these conversations about, these little details or these physical constraints, boundaries that we need to talk about. But it's like, yeah, there are like physical reality conversations to have, and kind of like weighing out, you know the ability to have those discussions. How good are you at speaking your truth with a Mercury in retrograde? It's like it can be a little bit tough to speak from an authentic place. And so this is a little bit about not coming at it so much from the aspect of maybe judgment, or critiquing. Like the word gunny sacking comes up here. Like gunny sacking is this weird term where it's like, I'm gonna not say anything about this, or maybe I'll say something, but then I'm also going to save it for an argument down the road to kind of like pile on to your argument to try to win it, almost to like you know kind of get someone to concede on an argument point. But Sun and Libra is more about how win-win. How can there be peace, love, and harmony in the partnerships? There's a weird thing going on too with Uranus oppose this Mercury, where it's like, yeah, I mean, where maybe some weird relationships kind of like popping up from the past, like kind of like, I don't know why I'm seeing an image of like a plant. It's like you think it's a plant, you pull it up, and there's like a person there. You're like, wait, what? Like, what is this? Like I had a thing where I went to go do yoga at a studio the other day, and the teacher was my high school teacher from 17 years ago. And so it's like weird time travel stuff. And so I think that, you know, because Mercury is crossing over a spot that's dealing a lot with, um, it is opposing, our self-worth relationships, but also this is where Venus did its retrograde in Scorpio. Was it 2018, I think? And so it just brings up a lot about self-worth. So I just want to say that it's like, if there's something coming up with people where it's like they're just kind of like a blast from the past and you don't really know what to do with it, it's probably just more, I would say, a karmic lesson for understanding like how far have you come in your self-worth. Where are you at on that? Are you kind of rising to a higher occasion where you're able to have, I would say, influential conversations with people, but also just not falling into this like weird trap of like trying to make it mean something. um Chiron like wants to make meaning out of everything right now because everything's so sensitive. It's like they would love to feel good. It wants to kind of create a better like feel good environment. And so I think the opportunity with that does come from having just healthy, positive conversations with others. It's basically also taking a look at, you know, it's healthy conversations, but then it's like you talk to someone, then it's like, okay, now back to work. It kind of reminds me of like water cooler like energy a little bit, where it's like, yeah, stop, have a great positive conversation with someone, create some relatability with people. But then it's like, okay, talk to you later. I got to get back on my mission, of like creating like my big path and creating with the people that are on that big path. You know, uh, it's like, hey, you know, this thing like no side chit chat comes up, but it's more like there's no side chit chat, getting confused conversations with people throughout your day, and just like mingling that energy together with more of a focused approach. It's like, you know, when you go to the water cooler, you're kind of like turning off the work brain for a moment. You're, you know, getting a drink, you're creating feel good energy. And so this is what yields to like, you're not shunning people in your day-to-day life that you're having conversations with just because they're not a part of whatever big plan that you have in your life. But at the same time, you're making sure that there's also like kind of a healthy boundary where you're kind of, you know, okay, yeah, I'll talk to you later, and then you go back to your thing. You know, it's really kind of a mindset thing. There's a big thing that comes up here with mindset where it's like you can only have so many conversations with people in your environment and get your communication across before you kind of have to just really embody the deep change within yourself of like what it is that you're doing, and to just not let anything give out. You know, it's almost, it brings up a thing too about like on this day about being a little bit protective about um any woe is me energy or things have been really tough. It's like, yeah, things are tough for everybody, but it's like, let's keep the conversations like upbeat, positive, you know. And I think that's what a lot of the square is saying is like, can you still find the positivity in the moment with people, conversations in your environments, or is it kind of getting like bitchy, moany, like kind of pissy a little bit? You know, it's just one of those things. Conversations, people are an important thing today, but then also staying on top of the work element. Um, yeah, and it's just you know, it's just continuing. It's just continuing to like allow yourself to be re-educated. There's a lot of being re-educated by, I would say, God energy right now, the universe, and really just not giving anything away to people. And knowing that other people are growing too. You know, South Node and Sag though, with, excuse me, the moon in Sag today, it's moved out of Scorpio, but it's like a South Node there can kind of bring up the over optimism. It's a little bit of like delusion energy of like, I don't know why it reminds me of like having like the sad lip, you know, a little bit, but also like kind of like in a weird optimistic way. It's like, can you just really just go more on the experience like of the work, and, you know, have more of the faith in higher spiritual endeavor as opposed to just like having a day where you're just like kind of like, oh, you know, I'm not having a great day, but things will get better. But then like not really doing anything about it. You know, this is the understanding that it's like, what would happen if we were able to, you know, have grace and compassion for ourselves on our tough days and still keep moving forward and not sabotaging, but also simultaneously, um, you know, when we're having our good days, and it's kind of like you get that reprieve because things have been so hard that you still, you know, put focused work effort going towards, you know, your long-term destiny. So that's what I got for you guys today. I love you all. Use this energy wisely. Always use the energy wisely. Oh, I didn't mention this. Mars, Venus. So yeah, there's going to be this thing where it's like, this is what I was picking up on. You know, it's like it's either action or kind of like conversations and partnerships. It's kind of like one or the other a little bit. So pay attention to that. All right, you guys take care.